And speaking of offensive line, can Sherrod compete for a job this summer, do you think?
I hope so. I mean, we just got to get him out of this medical, category. I mean, Derek's here every day. I mean, there's not a day that I have not walked through the training room, which I do every single day. He's either there or in the weight room training. So I mean, he feels better than he ever has. He's really responded to the rehab now. I'm hopeful that he can just get out there and play.
So you were there when Mike Flanagan was there. Remember how long it took him to come back?
No doubt, that was an ugly injury. Yes. Mike actually had it before I got there.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was still working through it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, is there similarities there that he might have?
Absolutely. I mean, you watch it on film. I mean, it's not your everyday. I think we were hopeful that I think anytime you break bones and you think you try to categorize injuries. I mean, there was more to it than that, and obviously with him missing the whole season, it was truly evident.
Some of your peers, Coach, have been dismissive of the read option and, hey, it's a fad. It might not even be the flavor of the month. It might be the flavor of the week. But just listening to you talk about the preparation, I mean, you think this is something you're going to have to deal with for years to come?
I wouldn't say years to come. I mean, I'm not a crystal ball, but I know we're going to see it early and often. If I was playing against this, I'd make sure if we had that kind of quarterback you would test the Green Bay Packers. I mean, everybody's going to watch the last game. Let's not be naive to that. So time won't answer that. It's like any scheme. You have to stop it. If people didn't stop the Wildcat, they'd still be running out. Everybody would be running right now. So, and I think it's just another great example. It's not about scheme. It's about fundamentals. So fundamentals win, and that'll never change in this league.
Can you talk about Randall Cobb's development? You see him coming into this year?
Randall's one of those rookies. 2 years ago, that he gets to your program, he picks things up very easily. So he's able to play a lot of positions at once. Last year was really the year we really tried to tailor some things to him, and he responded, in an excellent way. So, and that'll be the issue. So I mean, you have to look at special teams and wide receiver and be smart there. Whether we fully take them off special teams or only partial, and that's a decision that we're talking through right now. And frankly, it's really everybody wants to know, why wouldn't you just do it? I look at decisions like that as a responsibility to the locker room, responsibility to other players. It's about opportunities. I mean, our special teams, frankly, if Mason Crosby has a normal year, our overall special team play would have been a lot higher. So as far as rankings and things like that. So, but I felt very good about our coverage units with Randall in the return. The blocking and return game is vastly improved last couple of years, and that's a credit to Randall Cobb, because you got someone back here that can take the ball to the house every time he touches it.
Is he sort of scratching the surface, though, based on what he's capable of doing?
Well, I hope so. That'd be fun. I mean, he's a very good football player, and I think he's going to be an excellent player for us for a long time. I mean, he's on this. It's like any receiver or perimeter player. When they get on the same page with the quarterback, good things happen. They happen often, and Randall's definitely on the same page with him.
Can he give you what Jones gave you in the slot?
Oh, I think so. I think definitely Randall is an excellent slot receiver. And I think Greg was very good for us, not only in the slot but going into the 3 spot, and then I think people start targeting him and trying to do different things once he got in there. So, but I feel very good about Randall in the slot.
How important is it to get Jordy back to where he was 2 years ago, health-wise?
Yeah. I mean, Jordy's. We just got to get him healthy. Jordy's never been really had any major injuries, but if Jordy and James and Randall can just stay healthy for the whole year, and we got some young guys that we really like, I'm sure we'll add some other guys in the mix too. So we feel good about our perimeter group.
I'm sure your focus now will turn to the draft, but in that period between the draft and the start of the regular season, how big of an organizational goal would it be to maybe get Aaron secured long term and maybe Clay and deal with some of those macro contract issues?
I think all those big contracts are obviously important, and they're obviously at the forefront of the thinking for our financial people. So But frankly, my focus and the focus of the staff is about improving the players that we know are going to be there and get ready for them when they come back April 15th. But I have great confidence in Ted Thompson and Russ Ball that we'll get those things done.
Like, how do you feel about the safety position as a whole? I mean, it's unfair to ask this, but you haven't replaced Nick Collins, but he's really hard to replace. He was a really good player.
I mean, Nick's a great player. I mean, that's one Ted. I don't know if Ted will ever get over that one. That's one we talk about quite often. But hey, you have to move on. I mean, talking about a guy that was probably in the middle of a Hall of Fame career. But I really like Morgan Burnett. I feel that he's going to take a big step this year. I look for his leadership to improve. Morgan does everything you ask. He's just going to start cashing in on the opportunities he has around the ball. I thought he did an excellent job when Charles went down with his injury, playing down around the line of scrimmage. I mean, I thought Morgan was extremely disciplined and productive down there. So I feel very good about Morgan back there, and I like our young guys. It's McMillan's he's here every day. He's been back for quite some time, so he's in there working out. I don't talk to him, a lot, but he's in there, and MD Jennings, he needs to grow a lot more. He made some strides, so Sean Richardson's back. Hopefully he can get healthy, but we got some really good young guys.
What do you think? What is your plan for the running game? Are there schematic changes, or philosophical changes?
Yeah, there's schematic changes. We're actually just in the process of finalizing our run game. We spent a bunch of time, up until this point, going back through some things. We've made some changes I feel very good about. But the other thing too is that our running backs got to get better. It's as simple as that. And our run blocking unit needs to improve too. So Aaron does an excellent job of keeping us in favorable situations to run the football, and we need to produce better. And you can't cut it any differently. So it's not one guy, it's not one position. It's something that we got to do. We got to do a better job of, and I feel that the changes that we have made will really play to the strengths better than they have in the past. As we move into this season.
Like what you saw from DeJuan Harris?
Oh, I really do. I like, DeJuan. I wish we'd had DeJuan earlier. He was just a young man that we were just trying to get ready to put in the game because, everybody's like, well, just put him in there. Well, hell, you just put him in there. There ain't too many runs in our offense that can go to a pass, and now he's protecting for Aaron Rodgers. So that's why there's a lot of stress schematically and responsibility-wise on our running backs, and that's not going to change, and because of our quarterback. So once he got ready, I felt great about what he won, finished the season. So I'm looking forward to having him for an off season, and I look for good things from him.
Could he be a starter for you? I mean, if no one else is brought in.
Oh, he's going to play for us next year. So that's his responsibility if he wants to be the starter.
Do you think it was simplification part of the change that do? Like, your running game isn't that complicated, right? It's inside zone.
It's pretty complicated. We don't play like that anymore. Jags has been going for 7 years. If you'd say that to Joe, I think he'd be insulted. He's not even there anymore. Huh? I said, if you said that to Joe Philbin, I think he'd be insulted. He doesn't even work there anymore.
I know you do the pattern stuff. Are you? I mean, is that what you want to do? Simplify, or do you want to expand it?
Oh, we've expanded it, and the game of football schematically, you got to really watch yourself that you don't do too much. And we have a philosophy in our coaching staff about less volume, more creativity. So with that, you have base concepts. Inside zone is a concept, outside zone is a concept. But you have a number of variations within that concept. And those variations really need to adhere to the strengths of your football team. And that's where the changes come. So, and that's where the creativity comes in place, and that's where the ability to do things and change things at the line of scrimmage is a strength of ours. And then the other side of which is the most important side of it is, there's times you just got to line up, go run the ball. It doesn't matter who the hell's in there. So, we got to do a better job of that part of our run game. That's probably the part that I'm disappointed in, particularly when you just got to line up and go run the football. So, we play with about 4 different backs this year. Playing with that many different running backs being the main guy is no different. I look back to my experience in San Francisco. I played with 4 quarterbacks the year I was in San Francisco. It's tough on your run blocking unit when you got a different runner back all the time. So, it's not that we're going to try to just stay with one, but you'd like to get into a 1-2 punch type of deal. And, maybe get some more rhythm and let guys build off last week's performance and adjust to how the defense is playing you week in and week out based on what you did the week before. And, we got excellent defensive coaches throughout this league, and particularly in our division. If you do something, week 1 and 2, and you play them in week 3, they're going to have something to take that away from you. So it really helps if you're doing it with the same players. And James Starks, you got to stay healthy. Alex Green's not quite back with his knee surgery. You could see, Alex wasn't quite the same, and the guy fought through it all year. I mean, he's a tough. He's just what you want, but he wasn't 100%. So Cedric Veteran, he played well, was doing good things, but then he got hurt.
Mike, can B.J. Coleman make a big step this year and maybe push that 2 down?
B.J. has to. I mean, that's going to be the expectation. He'll do a great job preparing. The kid loves the work. He loves football. He's Frank, I wish he was there right now working with us, just like the old days. And that's something that you'd like to see adjusted, because the opportunity to train quarterbacks should be starting in March. It's a different position. The responsibility is the volume of it's a lot more than other positions. So, when he gets back in April, we'll go full bore ahead with him in the quarterback school.